Hey yo, what is up guys? It is DPX here. Welcome back to another DPX review. Today I'm reviewing Godzilla vs King Kong. Now I actually saw this in the theater. It's on HBO Max as well, so if you don't want to go to the theater, you can watch it on there. But and this is also the fourth installment of a shared universe of these monster films. They call it the Monsterverse. There's Godzilla from 2014. There's Kong Skull Island and Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now there's this. So how is this movie? Well, let's get into it. But before you do that, you know what to do. If you like this video, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell, and leave a comment, and you'll be a little subscriber. So Godzilla vs. Kong. What do I think of it? I'll tell you this. The 2014 one I saw, I actually remember liking it, but right now I do not remember a single thing from it. I never saw Kong Skull Island, and I really did not like Godzilla King of the Monsters. So, the track record of this universe is a bit spotty. But the action, you know, the monster fights have always been hella entertaining. Alright? So what do I think of this? Godzilla vs. Kong. I really liked it. This was a lot of fun. You know, the main focus of this movie is not, you know, what does this mean? I wonder, you know, what these characters do, you know. I wonder, you know, you really feel for these characters. No. The movie knows that. The movie knows why you're there. And the reason you're there is to see Godzilla and Kong fight. The other movies, you know, they focus a lot on humans. But that's not to take away from when the monsters show up, you know, but the human stuff in these Godzilla movies or these King Kong movies are always the weakest parts of them, you know. In fact, in Godzilla vs. No, not that. In Godzilla King of the Monsters, I found that very almost a slog to get through, because every time a human was there, which was a good portion of the movie, it's like, oh, stop. This time it's different. Like, sure, there's still human stuff, and it's still a slog, you know, but not as much, because they connect it more to the, you know, they connect it more to Godzilla and Kong. There's even this one little girl who, like, doesn't speak. She speaks, like, sign language, but we find out she can talk to Kong. And I think that's like the heart and soul of the movie, honestly. And that's the human stuff, you know? That's good. But yeah, the human stuff is, in fact, like, what's the, that's what puts it down a bit. But the movie knows that you're not here for the human stuff. So it sort of gives, like, the humans as little importance as possible. Like, but... And some of the stuff, though, just didn't, like, the stuff with Millie Bobby Brown and her crew, like, she was good in the movie, but it's not, she really didn't need to be there. Whenever it went over to her and the characters she was with, it always kind of felt like the movie stopped, you know. There was at one point where there's actually a big, the monster fight, you know, Godzilla and Kong were fighting each other, and then it cut over to Millie Bobby Brown and the character she was with, and it was sort of like, oh right, this was happening. Cool. And yeah, that's what you should probably expect going into these Godzilla or King Kong movies, into these Monsterverse movies. There's gonna be human stuff in it, and it's not going to be fun necessarily. There's only so much you can do with making two monsters fight. You kind of have to pad it out by having human stuff. But this is actually the shortest Monsterverse movie we've gotten so far, so they didn't pad it out too much. And I gotta say, the fights between Godzilla and Kong, holy shit, that was so much fun. Damn. Like, it felt like you were supposed to care more about the fights. When I watched Godzilla King of the Monsters, it felt like you were supposed to care about the characters, and you didn't. You didn't care about the characters. In this, though, it felt like the characters are there. You could care for them if you want to, but we got the monsters. This is the main shit, you know. you get a side thing with the characters, you like them or not, whatever. The monster fights, that's why you're here. We know that's why you're here, and yeah, they know that's why you're there, and it's so entertaining. Another thing that's kind of strange, they make King Kong sort of the good guy and Godzilla sort of the bad guy, you know, and it's sort of, the movie is called Godzilla Vs Kong, and Godzilla was sort of the good guy for his own movies, you know, King of the Monsters, he was a good guy, you know. I feel like what they should have done is sort of make it seem like they are both kind of good. I mean, I know they're two monsters, they're not like, they're not going to be fleshed out or anything like, yo, I really feel bad for Godzilla here, like, no, but I don't know, we see a lot from Kong's perspective, and it would have been nice to have a little more Godzilla in this movie. This was mostly a King Kong movie featuring Godzilla. There's one spoiler in it. This movie isn't too spoilery, so I don't know if there'll be a spoiler section. But there's one spoiler in it that I don't think was in any of the trailers. There's merchandise for it though, so it might have been spoiled. But that was like a big spoiler when there's merchandise for it. You might know what I'm talking about. So it sort of becomes like, it doesn't really become Godzilla vs. Kong anymore. But that's it. It's sort of I was sort of thinking that going into it because I knew about this inclusion. And I was reminded of Batman vs. Superman. But that was different because they stopped fighting in the middle of the movie. In this, it's different. I don't want to say a whole lot though. So a lot of it was entertaining, and like most of the scenes had either Godzilla or Kong in it. Like in King of the Monsters, in the 2014 one, don't know about Skull Island, I didn't see that one, but for the 2014 Godzilla and King of the Monsters, a lot of it was human stuff. And not only that, the human stuff, a lot of it didn't have Godzilla or Kong in it. This one, a lot of the human stuff is actually directly related to Godzilla or directly related to Kong, and you know, they're with them. So it's, the human stuff is a little more entertaining this time around, to be honest. And again, I gotta say, the bond between the bond between Kong and the little girl, I think was great. I like, it added a lot of heart to the movie that, like, in a Godzilla vs. Kong movie, like, that is quite impressive. I don't have a whole lot to really say about this movie. I guess we'll get into sort of a spoiler discussion, because there is actually a little bit I want to talk about with that one spoiler. So you have 3 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. You there? Alright. So, as it turns out, Godzilla and Kong are fighting each other because of Mechagodzilla. And they're trying to replace Godzilla with Mechagodzilla. And that sort of, like, he was leaked. I kind of knew about him going in, but when, it was sort of an issue I had. I feel like Mechagodzilla was really only in there as a plot device to make it so that Godzilla and Kong actually team up, stop fighting each other, become friends, yeah, and take on Mechagodzilla. That's not to say that it's not fun, you know, because that just means more action. But it just, I don't know, the Godzilla versus Kong stuff, that action was fucking awesome. So now we have Godzilla and Kong teaming up against Mechagodzilla. It sort of feels like Mechagodzilla was just thrown in there just for the fun of it. You know, he's a plot device, and you don't care too much about the plot, but I feel like Mechagodzilla didn't necessarily need to be there, but in a way he was sort of there just so the movie could end in a way, because like, it wouldn't have been satisfying if Godzilla won and fucking killed Kong. It wouldn't have been satisfying if Kong won and fucking killed Godzilla. What is satisfying, though, is Godzilla and Kong both winning against Mechagodzilla. And, it just feels a bit lazy to me. But they did sort of, you can't have one win or not the other. I feel like it was expected, but I don't really, Mecha Godzilla is like, he was just thrown in there. That's what it feels like. Back to non-spoilers. This is the first time we're leaving the spoilers, but not going right to the conclusion, because I also want to mention the third act of the movie is just action. That is just hard-hitting action, nothing else, just that, and that was hella fun, absolutely, like, amazing. I loved it. In conclusion, is Godzilla vs Kong gonna get a bunch of Academy Awards? No. Is this like, if you are going into this movie like, oh, is this like, let me analyze every little bit, let me look at all the character development, all the arcs, all the stuff that goes on. There actually is some of that, but if you're one of those people who's going to analyze every little thing, you're not going to like this movie, because that's not what this movie is for. This movie knows, the people behind this movie, people who wrote it, directed it, everything, they know that you came here for the fights. And they know that you're going to stay there for the fights. You know, most movies, well, a lot of action movies that have like compelling characters, you go there for the action, you stay there for the characters and stuff. Here, you go there for the action, you stay there for the action. They know that, and they utilize that. It's a bit self-aware almost. They know that the human stuff are not interesting, so they made it like so that you don't care too much. But it feels more okay because it's you're there for Godzilla vs Kong. You get Godzilla vs Kong. You get what you're there for, and I like that. This is the best MonsterVerse movie because of that. That being said, in conclusion, Godzilla vs Kong was a hell of a fun time. If you go there for Godzilla vs Kong, you're gonna have a fun time. All right, even if like you're not there for the human stuff, and I don't know why you would be, but if you are there for Godzilla vs Kong, you're gonna see some human stuff, and it does drag a little bit, but not as much as the other films. It does drag a bit though, and it's not gonna be as fun. But the human stuff that does not hold a candle to the action. The action is between Godzilla and Kong absolutely entertaining as fuck. So I give Godzilla vs Kong an 8 out of 10. I will say this though. It's on HBO Max and it's also in theaters. If there are theaters open near you, go to the theater and watch this movie. This is a movie you have to see in the theater if you're gonna watch it. It's not a movie for your TV screen or your computer screen or your fucking phone screen. It's not for that. That's not what it's for. This is a movie that you watch in the theater. So yeah, I might watch it on HBO Max after I've already seen it in the theater, just so I can verify that, because I actually haven't watched this on HBO Max. I've only seen it in the theater. But I'm sure when I watch it on HBO Max, if I do, I don't know if it's a movie I'll watch again, to be honest, but it's sort of like I'm pretty sure it'll feel like this is meant for the theater. So yeah, that's another thing. It sort of has a shelf life. Once it's on HBO Max, like when the other movies were theatrical, once they were on HBO Max, I'm sure it was sort of like, well, what's the point now? But that being said, Godzilla vs Kong. Did you see it? What do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Did you see it? Did you not see it? If you haven't, do you want to see it? Have you not? Do you not want to see it? Whatever. Anything about the movie, let me know down below. Anyways, if you like this video, come subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.